Okay, we back for a quick hit, real quick. Um, so let's get to it. The Sons of the Stone Bible Study class presents I Am the Self-Existing One. The Q and answer. So it's not going to be a real long thing. It's going to be quick. The Father. Deuteronomy 4 and 24. For Yahweh your Elohim is a consuming fire, a jealous sovereign. First Timothy 6 and 16. Who alone has immortality, who dwells in unapproachable light, whom no one has ever seen or can see. To him be honor and eternal dominion. So this is the question. So who was this? Who is or was this? John 5 and 36. But I have testimony more substantial than that of John. For the works that the Father has given me to accomplish, the very works I am doing, testify about me that the Father has sent me, and the Father who has sent me has himself testified about me. You have never heard his voice, nor seen his form. So we know that this could not be the Father that was dealing with the children under the Old Testament. So who was it then? Hamashiach, the chief messenger. Revelation 19 and 12. His eyes are a flame of fire. On his head are many diadems or crowns. He has a name written on him which no one knows except himself. Second Thessalonians 1 and 7. And to give relief to you who are afflicted, and to us as well, when the sovereign Yahshua will be revealed from heaven with his mighty messengers in flaming fire. Okay? So we've established that now, that this was Yahushua HaMashiach when he was Yahuwah Elohim. So let's keep rolling. Yahusha exemplified the mind of our Yahuwah perfectly, stating that he speaks and acts according to the Father's guidance. He was a devoted learner of the Father, expressing the Father's words and fulfilling his will. Our journey begins with obedience to the Father, regardless of our understanding. And we must believe in Yahuwah, bless and exalt his name, and follow his commands. Trusting Yahuwah is essential for obeying his will. Given our limited comprehension of such a magnificent creator, we may never fully grasp Yahuwah. Therefore, the key to success lies in our response to his directives according to his word. We should say we hear and obey. This marks the beginning of our transformative journey. Let's keep it moving. So, Sirach chapter 2. Those who fear Yahuwah do not disobey his words. Those who love him keep his ways. Those who fear Yahuwah seek to please him. Those who love him are filled with his law. Those who fear Yahuwah prepare their hearts and humble themselves before him. Let us fall into the hands of Yahuwah and not into the hands of mortals. For equal to his majesty is his mercy, and equal to his name are his works. So we glean a lot out of this, but we're not doing that right now. So let's keep moving. Isaiah 55. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares Yahuwah. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Come now and let us reason together, says the Yahuwah Elohim. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. So we see that. It's all about a transformation. But let's keep moving. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yahuwah Elohim has spoken it. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, is a line from Psalms 119 and 142. This verse portrays Yahuwah's righteousness as pure and unchanging principle, unlike the fluctuating concepts of justice held by humans. It also highlights the unwavering nature of Yahuwah's character, his fidelity to his promises, and his compassion and generosity toward his people as aspects of this everlasting righteousness. The tenets of Yahweh's law, governance, and the approach to salvation remain consistent across all times, places, and worlds. So, my son, receive my words and treasure up my commands. With you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, you seek it like silver and search for it as a hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of Yahweh Elohim and find the knowledge of Elohim, right? We're going to find the knowledge of Yahweh, but we have to seek him, right? This great I am. Let's keep moving. Many people are unaware of or have not been taught that Yahweh represents a sovereign of family, friendship, and covenant. This misunderstanding often leads to confusion. Yahweh seeks a relationship that is demonstrated through unwavering obedience to him without any compromises. When individuals prioritize their own understanding of his will, it creates a rift between him and his creation. Numerous faiths discuss the concept of the kingdom and the afterlife, yet fail to grasp the true nature of their creator. Without a covenant, salvation is and will be unattainable. Sirach 15 and 14. When in the beginning, Yahweh created human beings, he left them free to do as they wish. If you want to, you can keep the sovereign's commands. You can decide whether you will be loyal to him or not. He has placed fire and water before you. Reach out and take whichever one you want. You have a choice between life and death. You will get whatever you choose. The sovereign's wisdom and power are great, and he sees everything. He is aware of everything a person does, and he takes care of those who fear him. He has never commanded anyone to be wicked or given anyone permission to sin. So again, he's what is he doing? He's putting water, because water is what? It represents life, it represents the word, it represents the water. Or he's gonna give you fire, which equals death. But the choice is up to us, right? So what's the difference between Strong's H1961 and Strong's 3068? Now this was asked, sister asked me about this. She was having a hard time struggling with it. And I know a lot of people do. But we're gonna show you something. So let's keep moving. So, and Yahweh spoke to Moshe, and we're going to use the LXX Septuagint to kind of help us with this. And man, the way that they break this down, it might be able to help you when it comes to the I am, because people get stuck on that. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, I am the being. And he said, thus shall you say to the children of Israel, the being has sent me to you. Right? So when we go to the parallel, King James Version parallel, and Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. So they replaced I am um with the being. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you. All right. Now, Strong's number 1961. Hiya. Now you'll hear this. So you have different people that say hiya or whatever, but they stop where it says I am. They stop on the 14th verse. And so this is there, in other words, they're saying the being. It's nothing wrong with that. I don't know how they're getting a higher, but again, this is what they're saying, the being. This is a verb meaning to be, to become, or to exist. It's the foundational word used in Exodus. When Yahweh says to Moshe, I am who I am, Iye, Asher, Iye, it conveys the idea of existence, being or coming into being. It's dynamic, suggesting not just static existence, but ongoing presence and action. Now, let's look at Strong's 3068, which is what? The actual name of Yah. This is the proper name of Yahuwah, often rendered by these Jewish folks as Yahweh or Jehovah, because we have a old class on that, showing you that the letters J, the W, and all these things was invented. It's derived from 1961. So it carries the same idea of self-existence because it comes from 1961, but 3068 is more than a verb. It's a name. It encapsulates Yahuwah's eternal, unchanging nature, the self-existent one. It's used over 6,500 times in the Hebrew Bible and is considered sacred. But Jewish people say it is too great or extreme to say with words according to their traditions, because we know how they feel about the true name. They hate it. So they replaced it with Hashem or Yahweh, which eventually was translated into Yehovah or Yahuwah, but Yehovah. So, so in short, 1961 is the verb, the action of being, the being, right? 3068 is the name, the one who is. It's like the difference between the concept of breathing and the identity of the breath of life. I'm hoping y'all understand this. Let's keep moving. So, let's look at it again. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, Behold, I shall go forth to the children of Israel, and shall say to them, The Elohim of our fathers has sent me to you. And they will ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? And Elohim spoke to Moshe, saying, I am the being. And he said, Thus shall you say to the children of Israel, The being has sent me to you. Right? So that's Asher, EA 1961. Now let's look at H3068. And Moshe said again to Moshe, and Yahuwah said again to Moshe, Thus shalt thou say to the sons of Israel, Yahuwah Elohim of our fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, Elohim of Isaac, and Elohim of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever and memorial to generations of generations. See, so this is the third person form essentially. He is or he causes to be. You see? I'm hoping this is making sense. But we're going to look at it a couple of times. So again, Exodus 3 and 15, and Elohim said again unto Moshe, Thus shalt thou say to the sons of Israel, Yahuwah Elohim of our fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, Elohim of Isaac, Elohim of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and memorial to generations and generations. So we see the same thing here, except they just said in 15, Yahweh Elohim. But this is where the meat is. I mean, it's all meat. But we can't get stuck on the 14th verse. We got to come down to 15 to find out what his name actually is. Let's keep moving now. So, I am Eye Asher Eye. Before Abraham was, I am. This is the Mashiach talking. John shows Yasha I am statement, revealing himself as the embodiment of that divine presence walking among us. He doesn't just declare identity, he enacts it. Each one draws from Old Testament imagery of Yahuwah, H number 3068, the self-existent one. So here's how some of the I am statements, let me see, I'm sorry, parallel elements within the tabernacle temple system. Now let's look at this closely. I am the door. Just as there was one entrance to the tabernacle, Yahshua claims to be the exclusive entry point to Yahuwah's presence. This connects to the eastern gate, right? The direction of divine return in Ezekiel 43. Because you know the Spirit is going to come, boom, through that east gate. It's going to be shut down, and it's going to be open on the Shabbats. But that's a whole nother thing. We're just trying to show you what the Mashiach is saying, because we know in the tabernacle in the wilderness, you had the gate here, which represented the Mashiach. It shined, and I mean, it was like blazing, shining when the sun hit it. And this is where you had to come for repentance or atonement. You had the animal with you for atonement. But this is why this door is so important, right? This is where the priest would meet you and make sure that your mind was right, and then inspect the animal that you was bringing to sacrifice. Now let's keep moving. I am the door, like the tabernacle entrance. Only through him can one enter covenantal safety. Think of the Passover blood on the doorpost, protecting through the way Elohim provides. All right, so it's the same thing here. Same situation. You had to come through this door to get repentance, right? Or to get mercy for your sin. Let's keep moving. Words is failing me right now. I am the light of the world. Think of the golden menorah in the holy place, which burned continually before the veil. Yahshua fulfills the role of the unquenchable light, illuminating the path to the Father. See, I am the light of the world. Light pierced the chaos in Genesis. Remember Tohu Bohu? Here, Yahshua dispels spiritual darkness, just as Yahuwah's presence did in the pillar of fire. We just had a class we put up here on that. All right, I am the bread of life. That links directly to the table of showbread, where the 12 loaves were set as a perpetual offering. Yahshua becomes the bread not only for Israel, but for all creation. Because we don't believe around here only Israel going to get salvation. That's crazy. But anyway, praise Yah for his mercy. I am the bread of life. Echoes the manna in the wilderness, right? Yahweh's provision through Moses. Yahshua is the better bread, the sustaining word, invoking how Yahuwah fed Israel daily. I am the good shepherd ties into Psalm 23. Yahuwah's role as shepherd king, but also invokes the priestly duty of guarding Yahuwah's flock, and even the concept of the high priest bearing the tribes before Yahuwah. Right? I am the good shepherd. Direct allusion to Ezekiel 34, where Yahuwah declares he himself will shepherd his people. Yahshua steps into that promise, right? Because we know he's going to be what? High priest. And the Melchizedek order is going to be restored. I am the true vine. In the temple, there was a massive golden vine over the entrance, symbolizing Israel. Yahshua is saying, in essence, I am what that vine was always pointing to. I am the true vine. Israel often depicted as a vine, right? But failed to bear fruit. Yahshua is a faithful embodiment, the covenant bearer who fulfills what Israel was meant to be. And what especially powerful is what's really amazing about this. Yahshua embodied these things not just individually, but as a walking temple. Just as John 1:14 says, the word became flesh and tabernacled among us. So the entire facade was covered with gold, and though the first edifice, the sanctuary beyond the porch, was visible to the spectator without in all its grandeur, and the surroundings of the inner gate, all gleaming with gold, fell beneath his eye. The gate opening had, moreover, above it those golden vines, from which depended grape clusters, right, as tall as a man, and it had golden doors. The exterior of the building wanted nothing that could astound either mind or eye, for being covered in all sides with massive plates of gold. The sun was no sooner up than it radiated so fiery a flash that persons straining to look at it were compelled to avert their eyes, as from the solar rays. To approaching strangers, it appeared from a distance like a snow-clad mountain, for all that was not overlaid with gold was of the purest white. From its summit protruded a sharp golden spike to prevent birds from settling upon them and polluting the roof. So we know this has come from Josephus, War of the Jews, or whatever, right? But this is I just put that down there so you can find the information that you need. But again, this is just a historian that was writing some stuff about the same thing that the Mashiach was trying to tell us. So I am the resurrection and the life, not just hope for the end, but power now. Ties to Ezekiel's valley of dry bones, where the word and spirit of Yahuwah resurrect the nation. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Right? Covenant language again. The way, right? Derech, truth, and met, life, Hayim. All paths to Yahuwah's converge in him, just as the priest entered the Holy of Holies through a prescribed way. But we got to come that way. So, the action of being the one who is. Each one of these is rooted in the identity of Yahuwah, 3068, and reflects his ongoing presence, 1961, right, among his people, And John, deeply aware of these connections, weaves them in with poetic precision. So I'm helping Sister Nay that this helped you out with your questions, but with this you should understand that I mean it shouldn't be a hard thing to get. So again, this was just a question and answer, and again, as always, we want to say thank you for your time. Okay, with that being said, all I can say now is shalom, shalom.